to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you for downloading and checking us out this week. Kevin, I got a question about, all the tools that you use. You've said you've drawn some inspiration from other people in this game, and obviously through your vast knowledge of popular culture. But what are some other things that you're using in this game?
Yeah, so I think Starfinder is a game that definitely plays well with a lot of pop culture influences, and I hope people are having fun with that. But I also think that there's, because it's a little bit of a smaller game in terms of how many books have actually been produced by Paizo. There's more of a way for third-party publishers to really add some content, and I look around the internet to see what other people are doing and specific companies. One company is Legendary Games. I really like their stuff. I got into it in Pathfinder 1. And for this game, I'm using the Alien Bestiary.
Oh, okay.
I just bought it as a PDF, but it's just a huge book. I think it's like 450 pages, something like that, of extra aliens and monsters and all sorts of stuff like that. And there are 4 alien archives for Starfinder already, but the Alien Bestiary, it's an excellent product. I don't know how much it costs, but all the people at Legendary Games, like Jason Nelson's crew, they're really nice. I've met and talked with them, and they produce high quality content. So I use it.
You can go to makeyourgamelegendary.com and order this order this book in PDF form and pay $19.99, which is $10 off their original price of $29.99. So this contains all new monsters, or are these this is just an expanded encyclopedia of what has already been published?
No, this is all new, and also they do some things where they give you kind of like Starfinder takes on some older Pathfinder monsters,
okay.
But there's also just tons of brand new stuff too.
Nice. Collects over 300 monsters. 300! From tier 4 to 18. That sounds scary. I hope we
300 is not divisible by 18.
I hope we don't meet the big scary ones, or maybe we will, Kevin. Because what's going on in this game?
You might be meeting some of them.
No,
almost as though we mentioned it for a reason. No. Last time
on Critical Hit.
On Critical Hit.
You guys, after going through the mailbag and answering your fans' questions, you realized that you had been sabotagged, which is to say tagged for sabotage, and now you're it. So the good news is you can always pay the sabotag company, and then they'll start sabotaging Talos and his crew when you do that. But until then, you are adrift in space. Your drifters.
That's why they call it that.
We also just spent all our money.
And you were on your way to just past Octurne to meet up with Rain before the next leg of the race, because she said that she had information on it due to how well you guys placed previously, and so you were going to get a head start. That seems to be in jeopardy.
I try to turn it off and turn it back on again. That always works with our taxi cabs.
Everyone hold your breath.
So yeah, you guys had been in the little hollow amusement chamber that you guys were using as the studio, and all the walls just go black, and the door slides open, and you can see that there are flickering lights from like the emergency power and like chemical lights, casting an ominous glow throughout the squeaky clean. And yeah.
Grace?
No response.
Grace appears to be offline. I'll go run to the central core processor.
Okay.
RAM and ROM.
Figure out where the systems or where our systems are at.
I'm pretty sure I know generally. I think
not their I don't mean their location, Bob. I mean how where is life support?
How messed up.
As
right.
how much we have.
I'll run. Isn't there that big control board there in the docking bay or in the hold, or do I need to go somewhere else?
So there are different access panels to the main computer. You could get there from the docking bay, like the main cargo hold. You kind of want to get to probably the basically the bridge where you pilot from. That has the best computers.
I'll go up there.
I
got a question.
Any help?
Thanks.
Do we have gravity?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Artificial gravity seems to be somehow stable.
I'll get up to the pilot's chair and start running all the diagnostics that I can and see about life support or emergency power or any of that stuff.
So that's what Bob is doing. And was anyone going with him?
Yeah, I'm going with.
What about the rest of you?
Quentin engages auxiliary illumination.
Good. Source of light. That's smart.
Actually, 4 of them. But the question then becomes, can Vangie and Bob see in the dark? Or the relative dark?
I don't.
I mean, there's flickering lights.
I have
all
low
throughout.
light vision.
Lights, yeah.
So it's not like you guys are going to die.
I mean, even if I
we
get
still
sucked out
might,
of space, but
probably not because of fear of the dark.
So as you guys are getting situated, turning on lights, talking to each other about who's going to go where, the lights, a new light starts flickering, and it's red, and you hear Grace's voice. Reactor meltdown beginning.
Oh
you
no!
have
Oh no!
60 seconds until reactor explodes.
Oh no, we're playing Among Us.
I'm running to that.
I'll see what I can do to access the core from here, because I don't think I'm going to be able to run down to the core in 60 seconds.
Well, so to do that, you'd have to open up the panels that the holographic amusement chamber uses and try to access the computer from within here.
Oh, I thought it was up on the bridge.
Oh, you have not gotten to the bridge yet.
Oh, okay.
I was asking you where you were going.
Oh, okay.
And then, so because I want to give everybody a chance to do something.
Yeah,
and,
is comms
Before you
comms
rip
still
the rug
working?
out from under us.
Are comms still working?
Comms to each other?
Yeah.
You can test them.
She'll try testing it. It's like, anyone else on that?
Yes, I'm here.
Is anyone going to the reactor? I'm about to start an actual timer.
Quentin is going to the reactor.
Yeah,
Bob will go to the reactor with Quentin.
Bob will divert and try to get
Anyone,
to the reactor.
resistant
I'm going to still
radiation?
head towards the bridge.
So Vangie's heading towards the bridge, and who else is heading to? Who is?
I guess I'll just go with Vangie and continue to the bridge.
Awesome. So Vangie and Bob are going to the bridge, and Amu and Quentin are going to the reactor.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and Skritic, what are you guys doing?
Is there an engine room or somewhere I can manually access thrusters or anything? See if I can manually activate or override?
Definitely thrusters that are not the main reactor. Keep in mind the main reactor is for the drift engine. Hecubino had done some psychic consulting with it before. But yes, the thrusters are a separate system.
All right, I'll head to that system location.
Okay. And Hecubino?
How long does it take to swap an armor auxiliary system?
What do you mean?
Probably more than 60 seconds, I'm guessing.
Like putting on armor, you mean?
No, swapping out my rocket boots for my radiation buffer.
Yeah. That'll probably take about a minute.
Yeah, that takes too long. I'll go with the reactor team.
All right. So we've got the reactor team, Skritic going to the thrusters, and Vangie and Bob going to the bridge. So as you guys proceed through the ship, the doors are opening and closing automatically. They seem to be doing it very quickly, and with a lot of force, and not recognizing the normal safety protocols, such like they shouldn't be doing this when you're this close, but that's what they're doing. And the doors are metal, and they're going to crush you. So you have a bit of an obstacle.
How quickly are we talking?
You know, you have a second or two between opening and closing, but they're not moving at a set timer, unfortunately. They seem to be varying it a little bit. And they're herky-jerky and like, you know, sometimes they don't open all the way.
Could we hold them open?
You could try. They seem to be closing with a lot of force, but maybe.
Well, we're not going to make it through by trying to jump through. We are not exactly dexterous.
I roll Quentin through like a bowling ball.
Nice. It's close, but Quentin is able to roll through.
All right. Am I
You
dead?
have 30 seconds remaining until reactor meltdown commences.
Can I get to the reactor?
What is everybody else doing?
Still going to the bridge, or apparently we have arrived at the bridge.
Is that the
There
system?
are doors in your way as well.
Oh, well, then I will make a well-timed, calculated estimate of when is the best time to jump using my computer's brain and make that jump.
Try to make a computer check. See if you can tell what's happening.
18.
Yeah, so you're familiar with this. It's evidently using a random number generator to determine the delays, except there's a well-known exploit in that particular RNG that makes it not truly random, so you can wait for a specific pattern. There it is!
Oh, jump! And I said that part out loud, really loud as I was jumping. Hopefully that Vangi will follow along.
I cannot hear Sam.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I was muted because Daisy's activating up. I will try to jump when he says so.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you guys are able to bypass it, and Hecubino and Amu, you guys are waiting outside for Quentin to go investigate the reactor himself.
Is there a way to control the doors?
There are door controls. Yeah.
Where would those
That
be?
seems like a better idea than what I was thinking to start with.
Well, they're like by the door, like as if they're a light switch. You know, they're electronic doors.
Can I try and futz with them, see if I can stop the doors from being...
Why don't you give me a computers check?
We can do that.
What's your bonus for futzing?
12. Give me a
All
20
right.
total.
You actually access the system and you find that there's some problem. Like you dig in and you have a not root access, but you have an approved admin, like restricted admin role on the ship, and you find that like the door controls have been messed with, and you can actually undo them from here. So you're like, wait, no, this is not how this is supposed to be, and you have fixed the doors globally throughout the ship. As soon as you do, Grace has blue lights flashing now that says, "Weapon batteries, explosion imminent."
You've got to be kidding me.
Does this control panel that I'm at have access to just the general computer?
No, it's just, you can try to hack it to gain access to the general computer, but that is more difficult. It is a very restricted system. It's just meant to control door locks.
I'm gonna go through with Quentin to the reactor. I'll turn around and go to the weapon batteries.
Reactor meltdown in 20 seconds. Quentin, you're already at the reactor. You see it, mixing the positive and negative energy flows in order to, channel it for drift power. What do you do?
Well, I access my internal systems regarding the reactor, and I realize that it clearly says you can't mix matter and antimatter. So I'm gonna fix it.
How you're going to fix it using? What are you attempting to do?
Can I bluff it?
Yeah. That would be tricky.
I'm just saying. Let's see. What am I good at? I'm good at stealth I'm good at computers. This is clearly a computer thing. I'm going to computer it.
A computer. All right. So you try to hack in there and try to shut it down.
Oh, I don't just try to hack in. I do hack in, and then I try to shut it down.
All right.
That's
Go
how
ahead and give
good
me
I
a computer check.
am. A 12. It's not
Reactor
the best. These
melts in
computers
10
very
seconds.
strange.
9, 8.
I do it again.
You might. You're fresh out of ideas on how to hack this. You might need somebody else's help.
Are we there
Amu,
yet?
hack it.
Yes.
Yeah,
we'll be there.
you're there, Amu.
Okay.
Hack it.
Do the
Do you have
hacking
any
thing.
life sciences?
26?
Could be life sciences.
Oh yeah. Quentin had the right idea. He was just forgetting, the syntax of the command structure that the reactor requires.
Right, I forgot to go to 10 at the end.
So it uses semicolons. It's got space. It cares about spaces. It's annoying.
Stupid Fortran.
And the reactor meltdown seems to have stopped. There's still a blue light flashing indicating that the weapons batteries in the gunnery turrets are about to explode. Skritic, you have reached the thrusters. You're basically... The thrusters are... from an accessibility standpoint from within the ship, you have to go to the cargo bay. From outside the ship, you could actually manually adjust the thrusters themselves. But then you'd need to be in like a spacesuit.
So they're not going, are they?
They are not going. You guys
Yeah,
are
I think I'll try to get those going so we're at least not sitting ducks. We can just fire them up and hopefully someone else can worry about the steering.
Okay. So thrusters don't, fortunately, these, there's kind of two different levels of thrusters. There's ones that are, think of like, the kind of thrusters that an actual rocket would use, that are very powerful, that could get you to Octern, because you don't need a drift engine to just move across a solar system. And then there's more like landing thrusters that give you some maneuverability, and like can turn, but could not move you a substantial distance. The powerful thrusters seem completely unresponsive and inoperative. The landing thrusters seems like something you have some control over.
All right, I'll get those fired up and get us moving.
Why don't you give me an engineering check?
Okay. Basically say at the comms, if anyone has any idea of our bearing, let me know. And 15?
Yeah, that's good enough. So right as you do that, then the lights shut off. There's some occasional flickers of like chemical light, but even those seem to be flickering weirdly.
That's, I assume, true ship-wide.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll click on my flashlight.
Could everyone tell me real quick what your passive perceptions are? I like using passive perception, even though Starfinder doesn't really care about it, but it's just whatever your perception score is plus 10.
23?
10.
18.
20.
Okay. So everyone who had a 15 or higher, you hear something nearby, like scraping against metal, and you get this ominous feeling like something's sneaking up on you from behind.
I'll look over my shoulder.
Yeah.
Nothing there.
Huh,
Nothing there.
weird.
Yeah.
Good thing I didn't scream, because apparently they can't hear us.
I'm going to look up.
Does it?
They're always in the ceiling.
Oh. You see some strange claw marks in the ceiling. It looks like something has been crawling around the ceiling in the ducts and vents and tubes.
Activate Squeebo to clean it.
What? Squeebo is not around. You don't see Squeebo.
Damn it. Squeebo could eat things. Oh, that's right. He's still mad at me.
Weapons
like,
batteries
now
will
rely on
explode
Squeebo.
in 40 seconds.
How far am I from the weapons system?
You're at the bridge. You could get to the main turret pretty quickly. And then Hecubino?
What's happening in 40 seconds?
The batteries on the weapons are about to explode. That would probably cause a catastrophic explosion across the entire ship.
Okay, am I there yet?
So Hecubino and Vangi run off to that?
Yeah.
I when we got the doors handled, Hecubino turned around to head to the weapons batteries.
Okay, cool. So Hecubino arrives there first. And along the way, there are in the room actually where the turrets and guns are. The screens are all showing static, which is strange. It means they're getting power, and it's like a weird jumpy static too. Like it's not a consistent tone. It skips in and out, and it's got harsh sounds to it. It creates weird shadows and lighting as all the controls for the guns, which are usually used like these big holographic heads-up displays, are all just blasting random noise images at you.
I try to figure out what it's doing.
Sure. So you're looking for some sort of pattern in what's happening?
Yeah, is this a person?
Sure. How about, let's see, maybe sense motive?
Sure. Sense motive. 31.
Yeah, actually, you're beginning to sense some patterns to this. For instance, you're fairly certain right now that feeling you had, that feeling is that feeling of being hunted by an alien aboard the ship. Not just an alien like lots of your friends are, but like a xenomorph, something that is not supposed to be here, that it's going to kill you and your friends. Similarly, the malfunctions seem to be too well timed. This seems to be intentional and orchestrated by a singular intelligence, you would say.
Okay.
Actively.
Is it fair to guess that whatever it is trying to separate us?
You can guess whatever you'd like.
Okay. Does it actually look like the batteries are in danger of blowing up, or is this just sort of it gaining some sort of control over the paneling?
That's, you'd have to dive in and maybe make a computers check or an engineering check to see. Because you could try to interact with what computers are available to check on the system diagnostics, or you could, but if you can't trust what they show you, then what good is that? You could check the hardware itself, but that would be an engineering check.
Okay. Well, I can't do that. So I'll just get on comms and say, okay, guys, this is all deliberate, and
midway through, your comms go dead.
I'll look at the flickering panels and just be like, oh, that's how you're gonna do it.
Have I reached the pilot seat yet?
Oh yes, you're yes, definitely, Bob. Go.
Okay.
You're in the pilot seat.
All right. Since we have some thrusters and we're moving just a little bit, I want to bank the ship so that the batteries, wherever they are located, are pointed away from the hottest heat source out there. Like if there's a sun nearby, I want to rotate so the batteries are pointing away so that they can cool down. And then I'm going to flip a vent switch to see if there's any venting that can be done.
Sure. So you flip the vent switch, and that seems to be helping cool off the batteries right as Vangi arrives in the room. But as you flip the vent switch, you note that because you have like a limited panel view that shows you some of the basics of ship operations, not the kind of full view you would expect. And obviously Grace is not really operative. But you see that one of the airlocks has been breached.
Uh-oh, we've got a breach in one of the airlocks. Has the emergency seal been initiated?
The emergency seal has been initiated, but something might have gotten on board.
Any active monitors anywhere, like video monitors or anything?
The monitors seem to be going in and out, such that you can't watch all of them all at once. Like they're flickering. They do seem to work. Like they show you images of the rest of the ship, but they're all in black and white for no apparent reason. And
Creepier.
yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, the lighting on the ship is all messed up, so maybe the cameras have to go to that because they have dark vision or something. And you never get the entire group at once, but you do see Skritic down in the cargo bay, and it looks like a kind of insectile aberration monster with several talon-like legs is creeping up behind him.
Oh, flip on the comms. Skritic, get out of the way, get out of the way. It's right there. Get out of the way.
Comms are dead.
Ah, damn these comms. I'll start typing really fast to see if I can somehow stabilize the lighting on the ship and then stabilize the video monitors, the video feeds.
All right, so you start hacking away at computers. Quentin, it's been a while since we checked in with you, and Amu, for that matter. What are you guys doing?
So there are definitely claw marks in the ceiling. Is there any type of... Is there like venting or like ductwork or Jeffrey's tubes that one can follow in?
Absolutely.
Engaging Hunter-Seeker mode. If there's something in the vents and communications are cut off, I'm going to find what's in the vents. Yep. I'm going to go super stealth mode.
Give me a stealth check.
Stealth Quentin.
Stealth.
19.
Okay. Amu, what are you doing?
Watching Quentin float into a vent.
Yep.
Watching Quentin go into cloaking mode and float into a vent. I'm like a Romulan warbird,
was?
Only an orb.
Oh, I assume that he just like got like a bunch of like felt pads like came out, and he was just like quietly rolling through the vent.
I assume the computer down here is only for the core reactor.
That's right. Yep.
We're going to go find a terminal that can help get us access to the majority of the ship, because most of what's going on seems to be relatively easily fixable, since it was a prank and prank type thing, and not actually
meant to murder us all.
Hostile. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that they were going to blow up the reactor.
We were able to.
I mean,
stop.
We heard their spiel.
So Amu, you could go to the bridge, or you could go to there's a good terminal in the cargo bay.
Whichever one is going to be quicker.
Okay, so you head to the cargo bay. While Quentin stalks in the ducts, and Skritic, your passive perception tells you that there is a significantly sized monster behind you. Big, much bigger than a person. Like 5-6 times the size of a person. You can hear it clicking and kind of shuffling, and you hear maybe the sound of like some sort of acidic bodily fluid dripping and sizzling a little bit behind you. It's pretty quiet for its size. It's maybe 30 feet behind you in the cargo bay, and 10 meters, and seems to be kind of stalking you as though ready to pounce. You haven't turned around to look at it, though.
I'm gonna kind of make like I'm still working on what I'm doing while trying to subtly reach for my knife, and once I feel like it's about to pounce, crouch down real quick and then kick out, sliding on my back, thrusting up with the knife, hopefully trying to skewer it mid-pounce.
Nice. Okay, why don't you give me a bluff check, and then we'll go ahead and give you an attack.
All right, there's bluff. 16.
Okay. Cool. Go ahead and give me a trick attack.
Okay. Should I do a acrobatics for a trick attack, or just roll attack? Or
Oh no, just go ahead and roll
I
the
think
attack.
your bluff was the,
okay. Oh,
Yep,
fair enough.
that's
Bluff was the all right. Whoa, nat 20. Yeah, nat 20.
Nice. Good critical hit there. It doesn't look like you rolled maybe your trick attack damage because it's
No.
missing a whole bunch of dice.
Plus 6 damage.
Nice. And then you also basically, so how critical hit works is you roll your damage twice. So go ahead and roll those 3 dice again, because the roll 20 already did the 1d4. So let's see. 8 plus 12 is 20. Plus 6 is 26 damage. So it bursts forth in a bunch of like bile, some sort of oily green stuff spills on you, and it smells horrible. As you turn, it's like, I don't know, some sort of giant beetle-like thing, except it seems to have eyes all along its body and many more plates, like a giant millipede almost. If you had eyes and they had like talons for legs, and it was the size of a elephant. And right as you do you say anything as you turn and stab it?
Eat this.
Cool. At that, along the comms, everyone hears "eat this" and the stabbing sound, as it seems Skritic's comms are working. Vangi, what do you do?
So I've just got into the weapons area, right?
You're in the weapons area. It seems like the ship has been tilted to try to vent some of the heat from the batteries. And Hecubino is there seemingly trying to assess what's going on. He sees you and can say whatever he wants.
Hey, Vangi, I need you to, I don't know, disconnect power to the batteries or something.
Yeah, I'll do my best. So I'll attempt to make a engineering check to see if I can figure out how to stop them from overheating.
Absolutely. Go for it.
Are you good at that?
I'm okay at it. I have it trained. But not when I roll a 2.
All right. So that is definitely a failure. And that has restarted basically the battery timer was paused due to Bob's actions, but it seems to have been restarted now at 20 seconds to explode.
Well, that didn't help.
Yep. Let's do it manually. Where are the batteries?
Yeah, they're kind of, think of them like giant, larger than car batteries that need to be removed safely.
Can I try to make an athletics check to just yank one?
I mean, considering they're about to explode, that might be a little dangerous, but you could certainly do it. You could take your chances, basically.
I'm game.
Take your chances.
Take your chances. Rip the battery.
Hey, there we go. 25.
All right, you rip it out, and the timer seems to be stopped. And yeah, this thing is fritzing and frying, and clearly something's going on with it. But so long as it doesn't explode all the munitions, who cares, right?
Yeah, we'll take it or win from there. All right. I'm gonna go see what Skritic was yelling about. Skritic, are you okay?
I think so.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go catch up with
Do I
Skritic.
need to find a chemical shower?
Quentin.
Mhm.
In the ducts, you see as you're moving along, you see signs of another creature's passage. Basically, lots of little claw marks, and also like slime throughout the ducts. And the lights are flashing, we'll say green right now for some reason. And although I guess you have your own lights, so you can see everything. But you also detect like lots of little crawling things around here as well. Maybe some sort of small insects, something like that.
That sucks. Can I see anything insecty? Or am I
You
just
follow
detecting?
the trail of slime, and it leads you to a nest that has been made within the ducts.
Burn it with fire.
I burn it with fire.
Nuke it for
It's the
more of
only
it.
way
It's
to be
the only
sure.
way.
Actually, something about that. Well, you know what? Go ahead. You light it on fire.
I?
Go ahead. Go ahead and give me. Is that what you're doing?
You started to tell me something. Did I know this something? Do
Make
I
a
see things?
culture check.
Ooh, I'm good at those. I'm going to check my culture and see what happens now. All right, I'm cultured. 29, that's a nat 20.
Ooh.
You've seen this before.
What is it?
No, what's happening? You've seen it before. On a holovid.
This is not real. Am I awake?
We'll go back to Skritic. Skritic, this thing bites at you. What is your armor class? Your kinetic armor class.
That is 19.
Oh yeah, it gets a piece of you. And it's going to deal 12 piercing damage and 5 acid damage to you. And actually, as it does that, it tries to remind me of your kinetic AC one more time.
19.
19. So it does actually successfully, with that, surround your body with its talons as it has you grappled. Let's see. Who wants to go next?
So we were looking for the computer in the cargo bay, right?
Yes, that's right. And you enter the cargo bay and you see Skritic battling for his life while being held by this giant millipede aberration thing.
Do I recognize this giant millipede aberration thing?
So with your awesome life science check, you determine that no, you don't recognize what this is. You're like, not only do I not recognize what this is, but I should recognize what this is. I mean, it's clearly referencing a few different things. It's got properties of a few different real creatures.
Don't kill it. Amo needs to publish a journal on it.
We will attempt to use the grapple hook on it to pull it away from Skritic.
I don't think you can grapple creatures larger than you in Starfinder. I could be wrong, but actually, I don't see anything about it that says that you can't. So go for it. Why not?
Woo! All right. So that's just with my attack bonus, right? Some of my character sheet didn't update correctly.
Oh no, they've gotten to our character sheets.
Oh God, it's sabotage.
A 20?
Yeah.
Versus?
You're able to grab it and pull it off of Skritic, but now it seems to be looking at you like your tasty morsel of food.
But we're
Bob.
more than a tasty morsel of food.
Yes. What if I'm furiously typing and hacking into the systems, trying to figure out what's wrong and trying to get things back on online.
So give me a computer's check, and then give me a computer's check first.
I will give you a computer's check, which is a 30.
Go. So this is basically computer sense motive. You recognize that there is another force acting against you. Speaking of which, at the same time you are doing this, Grace helpfully announces oxygen depletion imminent. Venting oxygen proceeding now. And you can tell that, yep, Grace is venting oxygen, or the Squeaky Clean is, rather. And more to the point, you think that some force is actively deciding these things and working against you within the computer system.
This is not good. I'll look for a manual override switch to stop the venting of the oxygens.
That would be in the cargo bay.
Oh man, not the cargo bay. That's where the monsters are. I don't have enough time.
Well, yeah, and you can see from, because now there's a couple of images. You can see that Amu is battling with Skritic and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can see where everyone is. You seem to have comms, but only to and from Skritic.
Skritic, are you okay, man?
Ah!
And am I still seeing that horrible monster attacking him? Yes?
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Okay. Got to get it off of you, man, or you guys are going to be dead in a few minutes. The oxygen's leaking out of this thing. Yeah, is there like anything that is like, can I see any kind of a program or something, a virus or something that is actively countering whatever I'm doing?
There definitely seems to be something at work. You can't see like an actual it feels more like there's a person acting against you, but that person would have to be invisible and basically inside the computer for that to be true. But it's like, you sense there's a prompt waiting on the other side and somebody else is doing something. And they are also excellent at computers. Like they are both, they have some sort of root or admin access here, and they're very good at what they're doing. I'm not saying better than you, but they're certainly comparable.
I touch my chin to see if I've got the goatee or not.
No goatee.
Okay, good. I'm the good one. All right. Dang it. I'm just gonna flip the switch that says power everything down. I'm seriously gonna turn it off and turn it all back on again.
So you go to power everything down and you realize the power switch has already been flipped to down.
Oh, I'm flipping it back on then.
Okay, it doesn't seem to make any difference. That should not be the case.
Yeah, that should definitely not be a case. I rip open the panel and start probing at all the wires that are inside as fast as I can.
Somebody starts digging into the wires. Cool. Give me a quick engineering check.
34?
This is not how the ship is supposed to be wired.
What is going on here?
It's literally not the right wires.
This is not. Is this even our ship? I scrub the growing vapor or frost off the windshield and look out to see if this is even our ship, if I can read that it says the squeaky clean on the outside.
It's wired the way someone would wire up a bomb where you might have to cut the right thing to be sure it doesn't explode. But that's just not how the squeaky clean is wired.
Guys, Skritic, I think something's not right. Skritic, tell Amu to
being smashed around is like, no, don't.
Skritic, tell Amu to scan for any kind of inhalant or some kind of psychotic in the air.
We'll go to Hecubino.
Okay. Do we get to the cargo bay?
Yeah. So you and Veggie are both going to the cargo bay?
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah. Both of you get there, and you see the melee in progress, and you can also hear Bob shouting over Skritic's comms right in Skritic's ear.
Okay.
So you caught all of that.
Is there a chance that we're still I don't know how to determine this, but that we're still in our holo suite?
As you look at a nearby panel in the cargo bay, one of it lights up, and you guys see an image. It's
so if it's that little laughing guy from Standalone Complex, I'm quitting.
All right. So I have just showed it to you on Roll20, but for our listener's sake, I'll go ahead and describe it. It's a golden-skinned creature, maybe about the size of a goblin, with sharp, pointy teeth. But it's just an image, keep in mind, because this is on one of the panels inside the cargo bay, like one of the screens. And it's it doesn't have eyes. Its eyes are replaced with a panel within that panel, like a screen, covered in all sorts of bizarre characters. And its hair, such as it is, are just wires that fade into the background of the image. The image itself is distorted, and it smiles at Vangie and kind of gives the little salute, a 2-finger salute, and then the panel goes dark.
When that happens, are we still like in the cargo bay with a monster?
Yeah, no, you're still fighting a monster and everything. Yep.
Yeah. There's a monster in the panel.
There's a monster here.
We have a monster right here.
Yeah, I'll go start trying to tackle that creature, but be like, Skrit or Amu, can you figure out what this thing is? It's like a goblin, but with a screen for eyes.
Trade.
Hand
her. Hand her my capture stick.
Yeah. So it only appears in little flashes throughout the room, but you do see it now that you're looking for it. It shows up in the static, but it's one of those weird like subliminal images. You don't notice it until you're really seeing it. Amu, you recognize this as a glitch gremlin.
Oh. There's a glitch on the ship.
No kidding.
So glitch gremlins have basically a form of digital telepathy and have some form of like basically technomancy that gives them all sorts of abilities to manipulate computers. This one seems to be basically embedded within the system, and it's possible to dig one out with a computer's check, but that doesn't seem to be super easy right now because it seems to have absolute control over your terrain.
You said it was a computer's check to find it or get it out of there?
Mm-hmm, yep. You can basically pull it out of the system and force it to manifest corporeally, but you would need to have access to a real computer terminal. So you could try it.
All right. What's the worst that could happen?
So you go to a terminal.
Why do you say these things?
Yeah.
Cool. So as you go to the terminal, it seems like this terminal has been booby-trapped, and as you access it, a little logic bomb goes off, this time literally. So why don't you make a fortitude save?
16?
Yeah, that is good enough for half damage, so you will only take 10 fire damage this time.
That hits hit points, right?
Stamina points first.
Stamina points first. Eventually,
you are blown back a few feet, and that computer terminal seems useless. Hecubina, what are you doing?
I will sit down.
Okay.
And close my eyes and wait until I sense some sort of chittering presence nearby, and then attempt to destroy its brain.
You're trying to well, do you think your body is telling you that there's a presence nearby that is that giant millipede thing? That is not what you're talking about?
No, ignore millipede.
All right.
Bangie's got it handled.
Why don't you give me a will saving throw?
17.
For a moment, you focus, and it's less the chittering, it's more the static and the light, the flickering and the noise and the scraping of the mud. It's rather a cacophony, Oh, now, what's the new crisis? The oxygen's being depleted. So when you're able to set that aside for a moment, and pause and focus, you become ever more certain that Vangie is correct, and you have never left the holographic amusement chamber. And in fact, all of these things are projections and illusions being controlled. but the difficulty is how do you know how to get out and what's actually going on? And you think for a moment that that is going to require intent explicitly represented almost physically within this mindscape, if that makes sense.
I mean, it doesn't, but I'm rolling with it. Can I, is this, are we basically dealing with, hard light, or is there, a psionic component to this?
You're dealing with hard light, some degree of illusion magic, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, if the settings have been set the wrong way, what's lethal in here is still lethal in the real world.
Sure.
But there's always a way out of a holographic amusement chamber.
Right. Yeah, I will try to orient myself within the chamber, as a chamber, not as the cargo hold.
Nice. So it's really difficult because you're trying to keep track of all the steps you took and it's but okay, so how did I get turned around? And there are force fields and moving plates under my feet, and where am I within the chamber and where is everybody else? Are they just writhing around on the ground pretending that something's struggling with them and it's a hologram? And you think that it might the symbol you might be looking for, a way out, might be to go back within the holographic amusement chamber itself aboard this phantasmal ship you're on.
Okay, I will head over there. I got an idea.
Quentin, you can emerge from the vents. You have discovered that the whole ship is infested and that there's lots of little young that will, eventually somehow consume resources on the ship such that they grow to this size. You don't have enough food to feed yourselves, but that will totally happen. And again, according to the plot of the holovid that you previously saw. So what are you doing?
This is not real. I am going to attempt to access my thingamas. So when we entered the holographic chamber, obviously my passive systems would have recorded the room. So I'm going to attempt to go to where the access panel should be and access the access panel while ignoring all of the noise and things around me that probably aren't real, because this is not real. And I'll tell you it's not real because I'm a computer ball and I go beep borp. And I know this is true.
So again, you basically come to the conclusion that you need to get to the holographic amusement chamber to recenter your bearings.
I go there.
All right, so you're taking...
Rodrigo did it first.
Skritic, what are you doing?
So try to slip out of this centipede.
Yeah. So because Bangi's got a hold of it, you can certainly try that. Why don't you, with using Amu's catcher pole, why don't you give me an acrobatics check?
Hold on, fighting the interface.
No, you're fighting a big centipede monster.
But the interface is faking the centipede.
Oh, you're fighting a glitch gremlin.
Yeah, apparently.
You have definitely succeeded, and you even avoided the pool of acid that's puddling below you. You can easily tumble over that. Are you following Hecubino on your way out?
Yeah, if I see them running off, I'm going to follow them.
Cool. Bob, what are you doing?
Apparently, I see everyone running off back to the holodeck on the monitors, and I'm like, Skritic, what's going on?
Holographic amusement chamber. This is a unique plot.
I'm sorry. Holographic amusement chamber. The hack. I'm going to go and I see everybody running for the hack, and so I'm also running for the hack.
Amu, what are you doing?
We're still trying to use the computer to fight the glitch.
Oh, you go to a different computer?
Right. This one blew up.
Oh, wouldn't you know, this one's blown up too. Man, it's as if everywhere you go on here, something bad happens to you. Why don't you give me a fortitude save?
Feel bad.
That 20.
Oh, yeah, you succeed.
Nice.
You take 9 electricity damage from that one. You're still in the cargo bay with Vangie. Everyone else seems to have fled.
Is Vengi still
can I-
wrestling the millipede?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where did everyone
Vangie still
go,
has the
Vengi?
capture pole and has
And-
the millipede held for a moment. We'll go to her in just a second.
Okay.
Yeah, what are you saying and doing, Vangie?
Do I know, like, I mean, if this thing is from a movie, like, do I have any idea what movie this is from?
Try and make a culture check.
Sure. I probably won't make that, but worth a shot. Just an
No.
11.
Nah, before your time.
Yep. Super old movie.
We haven't seen it because we're poor.
So then she's just gonna say, I think we should follow Akibino's lead and try and just jab at it quickly and then turn and run and kind of try to grab Amu by the shell as she goes.
Amu, do you allow this?
Sure. Vengi is my friend.
Okay.
She wouldn't let me down.
So you guys go running through the ship while this xenomorph millipede thing chases after you, spitting and biting, and the capture pole is snapped in half in the doorway as it buys you a precious moment, and you dive through the doors are malfunctioning again, and the lights are off, and the reactor's about to melt down, and there's no more oxygen in here. But you get back. It seems that the door to the hack has been open the entire time, and everyone else has gathered in there, and you can race in just moments ahead of the millipede when Quentin and Hecubino seem to have a strategy for how to get out of this thing.
I get out of the thing.
As do I.
So Quentin, you remembered, so you were like, wait, if I can retrace my footsteps, basically, I can get us access to the panel. And from Hecubino's perspective, that makes sense because you're basically running exit on the command on what's happening here, and there has to be some way out. You sense that basically psychically and from like the traps that are being thrown up against you. It's very kind of like adversarial, but almost like a game.
Right.
So using our twin powers of psychicness and being an iPad.
I sense around and then jump sideways and clip through a wall.
So the millipede races for the walls or the entranceway into the hack, and it disappears, and the lights come up, and you're surrounded in just an endless field of white all around you, without even visible horizon, which is extremely creepy. And flickering maybe 20 meters ahead of you and flying above you is that glitch gremlin. And as it speaks and moves about, it's never 100% there. It always seems to be like flickering, and sometimes it moves several meters or appears on the opposite side of the party altogether. But even when it's just talking and quote unquote standing still, it seems like it's a little out of sync. So it says, "Hello, mortals. I'm Glitch. I'll be your haunting gremlin today." If you're dissatisfied with my performance, please stay on the line, and no one will be with you.
Well, Quentin will not stand for mocking of IVRs or automated representatives. So I'm gonna attack him with my computery brain.
How?
Well, he's a computer. I'm a computer. He's clearly somehow telepathically communicating with the ship. So I'm going to use my computers and my brain to attack him. with my
See,
computer brain.
unfortunately, you need a real computer terminal, and this
but I know
thing
what
has
that
again.
is.
But it seems to have transported you temporarily into again this weird landscape.
Dramatic.
And Grace will hop online and say, and again in her very distant, formal voice that says it's not really Grace, it's just the ship. Mortality failsafes and safety protocols have been set to insane nightmare mode. Creations will deal 100% damage, and no resurrections will be possible. All damage inflicted is real. Are you sure you want to do this? This is not recommended unless live streaming. Approval acknowledged. Disabling mortality failsafes and safety protocols now.
Grace, mute.
I really hope we are live streaming this. And she's gonna grab her pike and try to jab at this thing.
Sure. It flickers away, and it says, Vangi, the Vevesk. How about somewhere more suitable? And as it does, it backs away, and a crowd of faces start to form in the distance of the void. This white void seems to shrink, and so the area around you is still kind of white nothingness, but then the rest of it gets filled in, and it's clear you're in a giant arena. And it has those stadium seats, but it has sci-fi stadium seats. You know, they're going really, really vertical. They're going all around you, like you're in a massive circle almost around it. And then as it gets closer and closer and closer to you, lots of little fixtures become real, and there's an announcing booth, and like there's fans carrying banners and stuff like that, and then a dodecahedron, a D12, but massive, appears around all of you, and the faces of these dodecahedrons is like several meters across, so you guys can all fit easily within it, but you're kind of within a giant sphere, and gravity seems to be manipulated within this dodecahedron, such that you guys are anchored to some faces on we'll go ahead and say the left side, on one set of sides, which are the purple-faced sides, and then opposite you, coalescing on the orange-faced sides of the dodecahedron, are 4 massive snake people. Amu, you instantly recognize them as a certain type of alien called an Ilthasarian, and this is what they look like, although the ones they're not armed, and they are armored more like gladiators than this particular one is. So they have a long snake body and they don't have lower legs, but they do have humanoid arms, and completely hairless. They have one kind of dominant head, and then a bunch of other snakes growing out of their neck for some reason.
360-degree vision, certainly.
Yeah, that would have evolved. That seems like something that would happen.
Well, they started off with just one head, and they're like, what if I had like a little separate head that could also bite? And then there was like, well, if clearly 2 heads are better, then maybe I could have like a third and a fourth.
Yeah, it's like the whole photosynthesis evolving from like 2 initial organisms. It was like, what if there's like a guy that really likes snakes, and then all the snakes became part of him?
Polycephaly or bicephaly, I think it's called, where like creatures grow an extra head, is actually very common in reptiles.
That's true.
There you go. And there is an announcer. And he says, "Welcome to the dodecahedron.
All right, well, who knows? Who runs Bartertown? We will have to find out next time on Critical Hit. Until then, thank you everybody for checking out this show and listening each and every week. We certainly appreciate each and every one of you. And because you have blessed us with your time, we're now blessing you with a critical hit.
This podcast is copyright 2021 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.